Well, welcome everyone. This is the How Cup 2022 held here at the Centurion Mall. Exciting semi-finals underway. We have Kirshan Mudli against Fakhri Kirdin. First frame, it's race to 4. First blood goes to Fakhri, taking first red, getting good position on the black. This is going to be a humdinger of a match. Both players really lean towards a potting game. The reds are nicely scattered across the table. I think it's going to be a bit of a big break here. Blue's a bit tied up on the top left of the table. Fakhri looking very comfortable on the table, nicely on the pink for the center. Tables are playing nice and fast. Had a bit of a chat with Kirshan before the match, and all knowing Kirshan being such a good potter, really preferred conditions for him. So I'm going to try and draw back on the cue ball here to try and make, if the pink does pass to the same pocket. He has pulled it. Would it? I think he's on the pink here. Other semi-final match, Ricky Tagoning against Ashraf Hariban. He's also underway on the other table. Ooh, misses the pink. 16 break there for Fakhri. And Kirshan faces nice open table, reds nicely scattered. Pink does pass the black to the bottom right. As you can see how fast the table is running, is just overrun it slightly for the black, nicking that red on the way. Sitting the black in the pocket. He's got a bit of a safety with a cue ball running up to the table. So whoever gets a first red gets a score on the black. He's going to try and make a red here to the center. Not an easy shot. He does play that confidently. Is the cue ball going to be snookered on the black, Eddie? Unfortunately, just not open on that. There's a nice good safety there. The red nice and tight on the top cushion. Might hit the jaw over here. He does hit the jaw, and this looks quite safe for Fakhri, but he might take the top red to the green pocket. Not sure if he'll be able to maintain shape on the black ball, but might want to take one of the bulk colors after this. Maybe run it through and take the blue. Does miss the red, and fortunately left the white quite safe on the top cushion. Kirshan Mudli known to be a great potter. A bit of a double kiss there on the ball that he just hit. Still leaving it quite safe, not leaving anything open really for Fakhri. Trying to get the cue ball back into bulk again. So here's the thing that complicates the game here, is that the black is holding this pocket, and playing the white ball up, the reds seem to gravitate towards the black, is what you'll notice. And on many occasions, drops a white ball. 4 points there for Fakhri. And the safety battle over here sometimes has all the reds accumulating around the black, and at times even forced a re-rack. Don't want to call this prematurely, but let's see. The red does pass the pink. Oh, does not take it through. And there's a cue ball going. Cue ball goes to the center pocket. Our referee, Mr. Stefan Stennekamp. He can attempt a double here and keep the cue ball involved for the blue. He gets double kiss. It's a little bit of safe white. This is really where Kiashan is really strong, is with his long botting. So I won't be surprised if he does get this. Players just starting to warm up. The pressure is on. This is the semi-finals race to 4. Fakir has a shot here. Will he get onto the black? He's got a shot on the black one, and I'm sure he's going to free up this pocket as quick as possible. And the Reds, there's a few Reds that are available, except for the ones on the cushions over here. He's going to have to negotiate the white ball around. Digging into the cue ball, and you can see how fast this table is. Andy Cloth. Players are enjoying the cloth. Nice speed on the cloth. Both players play a potting game, so we can expect to possibly even see a century break in this match, I'm sure. And here's Kiashan's opportunity now to put it on the score on board. Oh, he rolled it slowly. Very uncanny to see Kiashan missing a shot like that. Fakir will jump at the opportunity to take advantage of it. We'll go up to one of the wall colors, probably taking up the green. Probably will be playing for the red just to the right of the black, or you'll be pulling it for the red. There's enough pace. Yeah, he's got it. Could not have placed that perfectly. Could not have placed that even better. Nice angle on the black to come out. Probably going to the red just to the right of the pink, to the center, followed by the pink afterwards to get the pink back on its spots again. Look at the pace. They're still busy getting used to the speed of the cloth. Fakri, the central Gauteng player, his home club, the Wanderers Snooker Club. Kiashan playing for the Northern Transvaal region. He plays from the Pretoria Country Club. Tries the red over there and loosens them up. He's trailing here 5 points to 41. So he really wants to try and stamp his authority into this frame. Fakri will not give any opportunity for Kiashan to get his eye in, to get his arm in, to try and put points on the scoreboard. Fakri digs in a little bit of spin. His favorite player is Judd Trump. You can see a lot of his style in his game. Fakri playing with a 9.35mm tip. Plays with a Mike Woolridge tip. Really striking the ball well today. Fakir's highest break 141. So there you have it. 2022 How Cup semi-finals underway. Fakir really striking the ball well. A bit unfortunate over there, just slightly underplayed it. Would have liked to have get the red to the bottom right. Oh, and he gets a lovely nudge off the yellow there, just assisting that red in. He'd definitely be happy with that. It's on a 16 break. Just thinking about the red. closest to the blue. He'll try and nudge it. He does nudge it. Misses the green, but hasn't left anything on for Kiashin. Just a containing shot there by Kiashin. Players not wanting to leave each other a shot. Does not want a double kiss here. With a long shot over there, I think he might just graze this ball, bring the white back into bulk again. Oh, the cue ball. Where's this red going? I think Kiashin will have his opportunity now. He might be able to want to slice this in. I think he will definitely take this on. He's taking a look at it. The reds are laying a bit tight at the moment on the right-hand side of the table. He does get the shot. He wants to go for a high color here. He's going to want to take the blue on instead of the brown. He wants to get some points onto the scoreboard. Still 51 points still left on the table, so definitely in reach of the frame. Very daring pot here. Tries it and he's got to find cuts here. If he can take this red to the left middle, white ball's going to run up and down a bit if he does take this on. Slightly overcuts it. And I think here's an opportunity for Kiashin. Had a word with Kiashin before the semi-finals. He's feeling very good. He loves the tables. He says they're playing really nice. And he really does have this title in his eyes. So negotiating the cue ball to try and maybe loosen one of his reds. He might want to take the pink on with him top. Hit this cushion closer to the black and let the cue ball run up. Trying to disturb one of the reds. Let's see if he's able to do this. This is not an easy shot. He misses it. Will he get it in? Right, so 48 points on the table, 43 points on the table, rather. The most important ball on the table is the cue ball. Oh, nearly flukes it into the side. There's a cue ball going. Where's the cue ball going? So this is a race to 4, best of 7. He wants to nudge us up against the brown. As you can see, I think he's got a shot open on this red. It is open. If Fakhr is able to get this red, he might seal this frame to take one little lead. He does rattle the red. So Kiashin does still have an opportunity. Where the red has been laid on the table over there, it's very close to the pocket, but it is close to the cushion as well. Not an easy shot to play. And the red does seem to open to the green. And he might pull this back for the pink afterwards. He does pull it back. Slightly overrun it. They come up against the black and he's open, so this does look like Fakhr will be taking this frame if he takes his pink and the red. He's running on 2 cushions over here. What a lovely played shot. Had the line, had the pace. be very happy with that nudge on the pink over there. I think at this stage, if Kiashin does come to the table, he will concede. There is now 27 points left on the table. So the frame in the bag for Fakhri. I think at this stage he's just going to be using this opportunity to getting his eye in, playing the shots a little bit with confidence, does it feel a bit easy, settle the nerves. As you can see, really hitting the ball with authority, knowing that he's got the frame in the bag. Attempt perhaps the bank here. Let's see if he's going to double this across, or is he going to slice it? He's trying to slice it, he's overcut it, and where's the cue ball? It's going to go off the red, it's going to go off the brown. And that seals the deal. So Fakhri Kadin 1-0 up. Kiashin does concede the frame, winning the first frame 71 to 16 points. So some background on our players. As I said, Fakhri Kadin, highest break in his career is 141 break. He's also the winner of the SA Singles, the Classic, the SA Doubles, and the 6 Reds champion. So he is a player to beat. He's 39 years old. His hometown is Cape Town, but he does reside here in Johannesburg, playing from his home club, Wanderers Snooker Club. He plays with a Mike Wooldridge tip, 9.35, and enjoys playing with the term Pyro Chalk. A lot of players using the term Pyro Chalk. And Kiashin Ludley, a Pretoria player. Fakhri comes up to break. Key for the break to try and get the white ball into bulk and not leave it red on for his opponent. Clip 2 cushions, try and miss the blue. There's a cue ball going. So Kiashin will take this red on you on the right. Kiashin playing with a 9.5mm tip, using an ALK. And there's the Kiashin that everybody knows. Nice tap there by Fakhri, just acknowledging the great pot over there. Kiashin's highest break, 132 in his career. Plays with a master cue. He's also the SA Snooker champion, the Classic champion. But awkward bridging here, but he makes no hassle of getting that red into the center. 7 points. And I think he's starting to relax now, and might just nudge up against the brown. I don't know, he's taking the brown to the center, so a bit of a daring shot over there. Was very fortunate for the brown to get in front of the red, but he has left Fakhri on this red above the black. For Fakhri to get a few points to his name, as well as his early points in the beginning of the frame that actually make the difference at the end. Lovely pot off the cushion. Nice long bridge. You can notice how Fakhri gets into the ball, playing it with confidence. He's gonna need a rest over here. Probably the long ones. I think he's asking the referee for the extension. For those of you that have tuned in and new to the game of snooker, snooker consists of 15 reds and 6 colors. The reds are with 1 point. The colors range with different points from yellow to black. Yellow being 2, green being 3, brown 4, blue 5, pink 6, and black 7. Played on a 12-foot table. One of the largest tables in the billiard world. Oh, misses the red. Unfortunate, but very fortunate that I was able to leave the cue ball in a position where Kiashin does have too much on. So a special thanks to our sponsors of the tournament. How? They do tips. Great quality tips. Andy Cloth, the official cloth for the tournament. My Day Brands. Purple Rain. Without these sponsors, this tournament won't be possible. So a great shout out to our sponsors making this tournament possible. The semi-finals, Ricky Tagoning against Ashraf. Ashraf leading 1-0 against Ricky. So he does have the red open here just below the pack. At some point here he's going to want to go into the pack and break up the pack. So he wants a nice angle on the black, and I think he's got that. So he wants to clip this red just on the left of the red, hitting the white nice and low, just to nudge the reds a little bit. And he does hit it good. Unfortunately, nothing on. He might have to take the top red into the yellow pocket, try and keep the break going and bring the cue ball down for the black again. Let's see if he would take this on. He does look a bit more confident with his cueing. He's going for the red. Unfortunate miss over there, but had a good opportunity to loosen his arm a little bit, and it reducing a little bit of the cushion that we know. Faki very steady on his cue action, making sure of the pot. The cue ball has just run just too short of the red that's above the pack, but he'll opt for the top red here, playing with the rest. Has overcut it, and I think Yasha might have a red open here to the right middle. Both players being hungry for this title, and not seeing too much strategy happening or too much safety play happening in this game. Both players being potters, potting being their strength. Take the brown here. Let's see if he's got an opportunity to. He's trying to see if he's able to nudge the reds a bit, but I think the angle is just too much. The angle just might run past the reds. So he's thinking about this. He might want to run the cue ball around the table. Let's see. He's trying to go. Oh, and unfortunately gets an in-off. That's 4 points for Fakhri. Brown does come out. He might be tempted to take the blue and go into the pack here. He's digging into the cue ball. Yeah, he's going into the pack. Let's see if he can get fortunate on a red. He's hit it full on. He does have a shot on here. He can take us to the right sense and bring the cue ball around for the black to the right, or you might take the rest for the red just above the black. He will be playing the safe, setting the cue ball up top table. And that's the game of snooker. It's creating the opportunities and being patient. Playing a safety and allowing your opponent to set you up in order to get a break. Playing the percentage shots. As you can see, the players going for a pot, yet still having the cue ball running safe to the top of the table. He's played that very well. He wanted to get that behind one of the bold colours. Faki will be clipping this and sending the cue ball back up to top table again. The idea with safety plays to try and get the cue ball as close as possible to the top cushion. Nice opportunity behind the green and pink. I know Kiashin will try and have this in his eyes. And they say the blue ball's the biggest ball on the table, and it's for that reason exactly. He does look confident. Almost fluked the red to the side. But not leaving his opponents anything. I think Kiashin, being the potter, he really is eager to get into the balls, really eager to put on a high score. He does currently have the highest break of the tournament on his tables. And Vakri is aware of this. He's aware of the fact that Kiashin is hungry to get into the balls, and so does not want to give any opportunity to Kiashin to find his rhythm and find his flow. So as you can see, the match has turned to a little bit of strategy, trying to get the cue ball safe. That spot behind the pink and green is ideal. There's going to be a very thin slice here on this red, and he does get it. Will he make it through and nudges again into the blue? This could be the opportunity that Kiashin's been looking for. Does get a nudge on the red. The black is open. He will probably be using the cluster of 3 reds by the pink spot just to control the cue ball. And he does, but get an unfortunate kiss over there, very tight on the red. I don't think he can see that red to the right middle. He would be disappointed with that. He would be thinking about playing a safety shot here, maybe clipping with this red. Try and send the white behind the cluster of balls. It was a touching ball. Touching ball means that the player's already been deemed to have played the ball, so he just needs to play away from the ball, try to get it in behind the bulk colors. He will take the shot onto the bottom left. Sends a cue ball up again. Every player waiting for the opportunity. And this is where Kiashin is dangerous. Because of his potting ability, he's able to take these long shots on. Another little spot there where the blue is nice for safety, but this red is on. I think he's going to take this on in his lens plumb on the black. He's got a bit of an angle here. He's going to want to take this black to the bottom right and just go into the red above the black to hold the white for the red to the right of the black. He's got an opportunity to seal the game here, but he wants to make sure of this. He plays that well. Black does not go to the left bottom, so he's going to have to draw back or follow through. He played it with a bit of side, getting up to one of the color's top table. He's going to dig into this cue ball to try and pull the cue ball back. You can see the speed of this cloth. He's played that well. He's played that well. He's going to maintain the cue ball here for the black. He'll be going into the left cushion. And he plays that well. Now he's got opportunity here to take this frame. And it looks like Vakri is quite confident, and he's settled in to this match already. You can see the way he's striking, and normally you can see when the players, or the amount of feathers they have on the cue. When I say feathers, it's how many times they stroke the cue before actually hitting the cue ball. Normally when that speeds up, you find the players are more comfortable. He's got short little feathers, and then making sure. Very good tip over here. You can see how Vakri stays down after he's played the shot. Many players would play the shot and jump up immediately. Vakri maintaining discipline and staying down on the table, giving himself the opportunity to learn from his shots. Now it's a thing of getting down to the red. This is going to take a great shot. And he's played it very well. He's going to come off this cushion. He's left himself a bit of an angle, but it's all right. The cue ball will run top table. He wants to make sure that he gets onto a shot over here because the game's not over yet. There are still enough points on the table for Kiashin to make a comeback. There is now 27 points on the table. Kiashin having 32 would have put him on a 59. So Fakhri does need to make a colour here to increase his points so that he leaves Kiashin requiring snookers. Takes on the long brown. And Kiashin knows that he needs to make the best of this opportunity. I think he's eyeing out this green and pink to try and tuck the white ball behind and playing a safety. He's going for it, 2 cushions, but I don't think he's had enough pace. Will it reach? Will it reach? He's just shy of it. Fakhri will be trying the same thing, but he's got to hit this yellow nice and thin, and he does, and the white does look good. Will he miss the blue? And he does. It's a slightly overall. There is a shot on the yellow here. Both players seeing this good opportunity by the green and pink. He took the shot on, nudges the pink out, and sets up a straight shot on the yellow. Taking a quick glance at the scores, he sees that he just needs the yellow to have Kiashin acquiring snookers. Kiashin required 1 snooker, 25 points on the table. A nice place to leave the cue ball is here at the bottom table, here, either behind the brown and black, or behind the pink. So you need to try and cause Fakhri to commit a foul. The cue ball's running lovely. Will he get this behind the brown? It's just unfortunate. He's nudged the brown to the cushion. This is what he does not want to have happen because it's 1 ball out of play in order to get a snooker. Fakhri will be wanting to make sure that he pots his green, and he does. He hits it very well, extending his lead in this frame and possibly in the match. Fakhri does get up, does face the table. There's an opportunity here for him to try and get a snooker. Not easy, but there's an opportunity to get this cue ball behind the pink. Tries to run it. He won't have the pace on this. Did have a good line, just not enough pace. And you can see Fakhri's eyes in at this stage. Kiashin would definitely concede. And Fakhri would extend his lead 2 frames to 0 in this semi-final of the 2022 How Cup. Trying a bit of exhibition play here. While he has secured the frame, Kiashin concedes. And Fakhri leads the match 2 frames to 0. Race to 4. 2 frames away from making his spot in the finals of the 2022 How Cup. So those of you that have joined us, if you find yourselves close to the Centurion area, come visit the Centurion Mall, where our players are battling it out for this year's Pro Snooker title. If you want to see snooker at its best, you can take a look at how these players are playing on this 12-foot table. Best snooker players in the country are showcasing this game for all of us to watch. Stefan Stenekamp, a referee, a match official, racking the balls. Favorable conditions here. Tables are covered with the Andy cloth. Same cloth that was used at the World Games. And from the feedback that I've had from the players, they're really enjoying the cloth and the speed of the cloth as well. So frame 3 underway. Fakhri definitely stamping his authority on this match, leading 2 frames to 0. No high breaks at the moment. I think players are wanting to make sure of the frame in the match. But I think with a 2-0 lead, Fakhri might have a bit of confidence to go for the shots and try and put on a bit of a high break. So in the game of snooker, players are trying to create an opportunity for themselves by getting to the balls and into position and into play, by playing the opponent safe, trying to get the cue ball back into bulk again, making it difficult for your opponent. And Fakhri just clips the black, might hit the jaw, yeah, no, misses the jaw. Opens up the pack a little bit. And players would try and attempt the long pot here to try and get into the game, yet at the same time playing the cue ball safe to the top table. And he gets an unfortunate kiss there. Did not want to kiss into the second red. He has left the red on, that's just below the blue to the right middle. Fakhri definitely being the more comfortable player of the match. You can see he's quite relaxed around the table. I think with a 2-0 lead, he'd be able to just compose himself a little bit better. So this red here, closest to the black, is a good opportunity, but Kjaersen's very good with his long, straight shots. This red above the pink, he might get this. Oh, and he's very close. Very close. He just needs to get that first shot, just to build his confidence a little bit. Just to get into the frame. He's got this red into the bottom right. Try and hold it up for one of the bulk colors. And he has done that very well. Fakhri really holding a very good match temperament here for the semi-final. As we know, he's had very close calls against the former 7 times pro snooker champion Charles Jonk, who was knocked out yesterday by Kevin. So Fakhri hungry for this title. He has been in a few finals of the pro snooker, losing against Charles. Now that Charles has been knocked out, the tournament favourite, Fakhri definitely has his eye on the prize. And he's left himself nicely for a good opportunity here to get some heavy scoring going here. We might be seeing a bit of a break over here. A couple of loose reds around the black. So he might want to seal the deal here and extending his lead 3-0 if he's able to take a good opportunity of this visit. The reds are laying quite nice for him, and Fakhri is known well for his break building. And uncanny miss there by Fakhri. Never think he would miss the black of the spot, but Kjaersen jumps out of his seat, hoping to take advantage. Could this be the opportunity that Kiashin's been waiting for? He knows he needs to grab this with both hands. He does have this red below the bunch of the pink to the right pocket.
6.
He's taking the one just above the pink. I think he's trying to loosen the black possibly. Is the combination on? It might be the plant. No, he took the red. That's right, and probably going to have a long blue here. And this is just what Kiashin's been needing, is just to get some table time and to loosen up the arm and pot a few balls. It will help for the confidence, and this is the one thing that Fakhri did not want to have happen, is to give Kiashin that opportunity to start potting balls and building his confidence. Not too far behind Fakhri in this frame. Rushed into that one a little bit, but still holding his own. Where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going? 4 points for Kiashin, and he's got this red to the right middle. Only 2 points behind in this frame. Very important frame here for Kiashin. He wants to shorten the difference. And beautifully nudged out there. He's got a slight angle on the red. He's going to play this with a bit of authority, try and get up for the blue. And he has taken the lead in this frame. Well, he nudged the red out just a bit soft. Would have liked to have nudged it closer to the center pocket. So it is end of break. And he will be opting for a safety play here. So that's end of break. Kiashin Moody leading 10 points in this frame. Very important frame for Kiashin. Fakhri is queuing well, he might get this. And he does. And where's the cue ball going? Nice long shot here on the blue. Only red open is the one that's tied up on the cushion here. So he might want to draw this back and opt for the red that's against the cushion. Did attempt to really draw this back. And now he'll try and play safe. Try and get the cue ball behind the black, run 2 rails. And very well played. Very well played. Kiashin acknowledging a little bit of tap on the table. He's going to have a fine slice on this red, but he might set up the other red closer to the other pocket. Oh, and he flukes the ball, gets a double kiss of the other ball. Raises his hand in apology. And initiative shifts over to Kiashin, who would opt to try and get a safety shot here behind the black. And gets a double kiss and a nudge on the black. But Fakhri does have a shot open here. A long one, he might draw the cue ball nice and tight. Let's see if he's able to get this long shot. It's a test of cue action, this. Ah, beautifully played. And where's the cue ball going? Unfortunate twice. Unfortunate there for Fakhri. On 2 occasions now, the side pockets have just stopped agreeing with him. So another 4 points there for Kiashin. Kyashin wanting to make sure. Nice tap on the table there by Fakhri. Great safety play. You can see a little bit of the red. He might want to hit the red from behind, playing a bit of side. If you can see the red, he might clip it. And he does. Will he get the cue ball behind the brown? He's open over here. This has been a great semi-final. Both players hungry for their spots in the final of this year's Pro Snooker. And Kyashin does what he does best, getting his long shots in and taking advantage of it. And here's players have an option here to either snooker, but Kyashin knows that he's got to take the opportunity to get this frame. He'll be taking the brown. He does miss it, unfortunately, setting up his positional shot for Fakhri. Does overcut it a bit, but leaving a long shot here for Kyashin, and as we know that he's very good on these long shots. So he will play this and send the white back into bulk again. And he would not be happy with that. He'll be very disappointed with that. Sets up a shot here for Fakhri to possibly secure this frame as well. Nudging the pink out. Red ball tied up a little bit here, so Fakhri giving it a bit of a think. Just viewing a good opportunity. How difficult it would be to leave his opponents. Will he take this on? So where's the cue ball going to be? He plays a cue ball to the opposite side of the table. I think Kyashin will see the left-hand side of the red over here, but not an easy shot because a cue ball can drop. So he's going to draw this to avoid the in-off. Very thin cuts of here. Fakhri eyeing it out. If he's able to drop this, he'll have a good opportunity to seal his third frame in the semi-final. So 35 points left on the table. These long shots are really a test on cue action. And the pressure, none of these players are strangers to the pressure of this type of match. Both of these players have national titles in some event in their name. And he flukes it into the green pocket, holding his hand up as an apology. Brown ball does seem to be the option to go for here. Might loosen up the black if he does hit it right. And he nudges the black. And will he get on the pink, on the yellow? And he does. He's going to try and score as many points as possible over here to try and leave Fakhri acquiring snookers. He wants to close the gap here and win this frame. Unfortunate there. 25 points on the table. He's going to try and send this green around the table, leaving the cue ball behind the pink. And I think he may have played this a little bit too hard. He would have left a shot here for Fakhri to take it to the bottom right pocket. And where's the cue ball going? Is it going to the middle again? Third time. Fakhri drops the cue ball in the side. And this is a good opportunity for Kyashin. If there's ever a good opportunity, it is now. One can see how the cue ball slowed up as they hit the cushion, having top spin. Kjærsson will take this on. He will try and seal this deal. Has missed it. Leaving a long shot here for Fakhri. 22 points on the table. Fakhri does require a snooker, so he will not be attempting to pot the ball at all. And I think that Brown has just run a bit too far. So Kjærsson wanting to make sure of the shot, and he does. And I'm sure that will secure the frame for Kjærsson. Kjærsson is thinking, Fakhri is thinking about this. Only 18 points on the table. That will leave him on 43 if he were to clear the table, but he needs a couple of snookers over here. And against a potter like Kjærsson, he wants to make sure that he does not just get any snooker, but to really get it tight in order for Kjærsson to make a foul, and he's played this really well. I think this blue, if it moves further, oh, what a great attempt. What a great attempt. The idea in safety is to try and get the balls as far away from each other as possible. If Kjærsson makes a foul, it will be 5 points for Fakhri. So 2 snookers required by Fakhri. 2 snookers required. And he's left Kjærsson here on the blue. And you can see that just what it's waiting for. And Fakhri concedes. So there we have it. Kjærsson very happy with clinching this frame, closing the gap. The scores are 2-1 for Fakhri. Race to 4. So those of you that are in the Centurion area, feel free to come down to the Centurion Mall to view the spectacular showship of snooker, the Pro Cup snooker, the 2022 How Cup. Big shout out to our sponsors, Andy championship cloth that is on the table the players are playing on. Really quick, players have been complimenting the cloth. To our sponsors, My Day Brands, Pro Snooker, Purple Rain, and How Tips. Stefan Senna comes setting up the balls. Players on a quick break just to freshen up. Wants to ensure that he gets the balls on the spots. So some interesting information on our players that are playing here in the semi-finals. On the other semi-finals, we have Ricky Tagoning playing against Ashraf. Ashraf leading 2 frames to 0. Ricky Tagoning beating Mutali Pali in the quarterfinals. And Ashraf currently the favorite to possibly book his spots in the finals of this 2022 How Cup. But Kjærsson Moodley, born in Pretoria, playing from his home club in Pretoria Country Club. Sorry, correction on that. Playing from Innisdale in Gazina is his home club, and he plays with a 9.5mm tip. He uses tone chalk, and his ice break 132. Kjærsson Moodley, former SA snooker and classic champion. So he brings these few titles to the table to head up against Fakhri. Fakhri, former SA singles, classic and doubles and 6-red champion. He's from Johannesburg, plays from a home club, Wanderers Snooker Club. And Fakhri's sponsor, Screen Vision. Big shout out to Screen Vision. The players appreciative of the sponsors to make it happen for the players to compete at this level. As we can see, snooker's growing in South Africa and starting to put on a beautiful spectatorship for the viewers. Fakhri plays with a accurate cue, an Ashwood 9.35mm tip using the Tone Pyro chalk, and his highest break 141. At the moment now, Fakhri leads 2 frames to 1, 2 frames away from booking his spot in the finals. A huge shake-up in the tournament was yesterday when Charles Young lost against his friend Kevin. Charles winning this event 7 consecutive times. And now that Charles has been knocked out, players are hungry for the opportunity of booking their spot in the finals and taking this title home. So this semi-finals race to 4. And I think after this break, it'll allow the players just to loosen up a little bit, to relax a bit. We're probably going to see some high breaks in this second half of the semi-finals. Just an update on our other semi-finals on the other table. We have Ricky Tugoni playing against Ashraf. Ricky trailing 2 frames to none. The scores there are 30 for Ashraf, 28 for Ricky. Ricky on a break of 4 at the moment, with 1 red left on the table. Big shout out to our sponsor for this event, Andy Billiard Cloth. Definition of professional billiard cloth. The official cloth was used at the 2019 World Team Trophy at the 2017 World Games, which was held in Poland. It was used on Poole and Karen. In 2019 WPA Players Championship and the 2016 14-1 World Tournament in USA. Also the formal cloth that was used at the World Games in the US just a few months ago. Andy cloth is what makes this game really fast. As you can see, the cue ball running really fast, really seeing some good action on the cue ball. Stefan Sennekamp calling the players to play, about to kick off a frame 4. And there we have it. Scores are 2 frames to 1. Fakhri gedient to break. So players just having a quick refreshing, having a comfort break. It allows us to ease the pressure a little bit. Very uncanny to see the black out to top table at so early in the frame. Not much open over here, so Fakhri will be playing the cue ball to top table and just trying to get the cue ball safe. And he does play that very well. Kjarsson can see the pack over here, but the question is, can he see the side of a ball? Because he would want to slice this. And he does kiss into the other ball. Very fortunate though. Does not leave much on. There might be a plant. The 2 reds up to the green pocket, but Fakhri would be playing this to the cushion to be able to play the cue ball to the top. Black covering the reds here to the right. Brown covering the red to the left. So not an easy shot here for Kjarsson. He wants to make sure that he does not leave the cue ball in any position. Can you see a bit of this red? Oh, he tried to hit it from behind. And because he was able to see, that would be a foul and a miss.
Miss. Four.
There is a red open. He does have the option for the miss to place the cue ball back, but because there is a red ball open, Fakhri would take the shot on, getting the small extension butt on his cue, just to reach, especially when the cue ball is out close to the center of the pocket, or the center of the table. The fact that he's going for this shows the level of confidence that Fakhri is on at the moment. Punching the ball in. He leaves himself probably a good shot here on the black. Let's try and get the black on the spots again. As you see the blue, he's got enough of the blue. He would be taking the blue on here. Nudges into the reds a bit. And very well done. Opening up the reds a bit to try and get some more points on the board for him.
6.
And you can see the pace of Fakhri has picked up quite a bit since the first couple of frames. It just shows his level of confidence at the moment is quite high, and at some stage he's going to want to get this black back onto the spot. And I think he's wanting to do it now, and the cue ball's going to have to go in and out of bulk. And he does play that really well, digging into the cue ball, bringing the cue ball around the table. Is he going to hit this red? Gets a perfect nudge on the red and a slight angle possibly. He's going to have to punch this a little bit or just run the cue ball through. Get back on the black. He wants to get a bit of angle over here. Doesn't want to end up on the black too straight. So he does have the red below the black, and he's also got the red just below the pink. And that's the one he's going for. It's a nice nudge on the other red, and he'll take this red to the left side and maintain position on the pink for the same pockets and get the pink back on the spots again. And Fakhri definitely looking comfortable in this frame and stamping his authority to try and extend his lead by 3 frames to 1. And one can see the pace that Fakhri's playing at. He's really playing with authority.
29.
Using the rest here with a long rest. Fakhri definitely starting to hit zone and hit form here on a 30 break. He's feeling very comfortable around the table. Striking the ball nice and comfortable. He's left himself a bit of an angle here on this red. Probably want to take this up for the blue. And he does. He wants to go on the right hand side of the blue, which he has. And he might use this opportunity to go into the bunch. If he's able to get a nice split on the bunch over here, we're looking at a high break. And he gets a bit of a nudge. The ball does sit in a position where he can hold the black again. He's got the red above the black that can go to the bottom right. So it's going to take some methodical negotiating of the cue ball here. He has underplayed that slightly. He might want to go into the reds here. And he does miss the red, leaving himself a long shot on the red that's just below the pack.
51.
So a long shot over here. If he gets this, it's really a tester for his cue action at this stage. Oh, and you can see, especially the mouth hanging slightly open, one of the signs that a player is starting to hit form. He'll be playing this confidently. He wants to get position on a red, and the red below the pack is open to the bottom left. He played that strong. He tried to open up the pack over there, but a lovely 52 break there by Fakhri, extending his lead in this frame. Not much on for Kiashin. Kiashin just not getting the opportunity to get in this match. And opportunities only come by when you're playing good safeties and creating those opportunities for yourself. In our other semi-finals match, Ricky Tagoning playing against Ashraf. Ashraf leads 2 frames to 1. So Kiashan just looking for an opportunity to try and get his name into this frame. Very important frame here for Kiashan. He wants to close the gap here and get the scores at even at 2 apiece. He's got a shot here to the center. Not an easy shot. I think Fakhri might be able to see this red. Oh, does not see it. Is it open? He will be taking this on. No, he doesn't. He plays a good safety. And you can see Fakhri making sure of the match. Making sure that he does not give Kiashan an opportunity to get into this frame. It has been some time before Kiashan, since Kiashan has potted a ball. And Fakhri using this to his advantage. I think that 50-odd break that Fakhri made really added a bit to his confidence. He's got the opportunity to try and take this red, maybe draw the cue ball back into bulk. Here's a tester. And he plays it well. Now Fakhri definitely seeing a bit of a change in Fakhri's composure around the table and his match temperament. He's found himself to be settled in the semi-finals, and at the same time playing very strategic shots and playing very clever safeties, trying to keep his opponent Kiashan cold and not getting into the frame. A little containing shot here by Kiashan, trying to get the cue ball tight against the cushion below the black. Fakhri pouncing at opportunity to try and play a safety shot here to get the cue ball back up to bulk. Grazes the red, trying to get the cue ball behind the green, leaving long distance here for Kiashan, trying to keep him cold. And it's a hurdle that Kiashan's going to have to get over. He's going to must try and get into this frame. Very important frame for Kiashan. Nudging the black closer to the left corner. Seeing if it's a touching ball. Our referee Stefan Stennekamp looking closely, holding his hand above to throw a shadow on the balls to see if they are touching. And if the cue ball is touching the red, Fakhri would only need to play away, because you have deemed to have played the shots already. And it does look like it is a touching ball. So the key here is not to leave the cue ball where Kiashan can play this red that's on the right hand side. He wants to make sure that he leaves it nice and tough. So he might just try and get this behind the green, but Kiashan's going to have a shot here. And he will take this opportunity. He's going to try and get this and hold the cue ball for the black. He nudged it slowly and leaves it almost in the same position that it was before, this time not being a touching ball. So Fakhri would be grazing the edge of this red and setting the cue ball up, but he won't, because the red is up and he knows that Kiashan has had a chance. So just touching the ball. There's a shot here for Kiashan to possibly take this to the right center, but not an easy shot. So I think he might just want to play this and keep the white nice and tight behind the blue on the cushion. Fakhri leading 57 points to none. Did hit that with some authority, and he does look like he may have left this red open for Kiashan to try and get an opportunity to try and pot a few balls. First ball that Kiashan pots in a very long time. Breaks the ice. The red's are laying very favorably for him. This is a really good opportunity for Cash to loosen his arm and get into this frame. Draws the cue ball back. Has he overrun this? Slightly overrun this. He's going to need a good recovery shot here. Balls are laying favorably. He wants to make sure of this. Oh, well played. What a great shot. What a great shot. Plays it effortlessly. Leaves himself on the black and an opportunity to leave the black on the spot. And where's the cue ball going? Oh, unfortunate there. Draws the cue ball back into the pocket. Foul. Fakhri will be avoided. Fakhri will be awarded 7 points. And so with the reds that are remaining on the table, only 51 points on the table, this will leave a very tricky scenario for Kiashan to get points. That's 51 points if Kiashan is able to pot all 3 remaining reds with black balls. The difference is 60 points between them, 51 points on the table, Kiashan requiring snookers. So Fakhri definitely stamping his authority in this match. Ideally, Kiashan would want to take 2 reds and blacks and then leave the last remaining red on the table with a snook and try and get a free ball foul on the last red. He will be trying to maintain either on the black or the pink. Does get an unfortunate kiss over the things just not rolling right for Kiashan in this match. Having taken that red, he is going to need a high color here. If he does not make the red, we might even see a possible concession. Takes on the long black, misses it, does not concede. Kiashan knowing that he can secure this. Nice red there by Fakhri. He takes the blue. He pretty much seals this frame and is extending lead of 3-1 over Kiashan, former South African champion.
6.
Fakhri looking very comfortable. Definitely the favourites. Playing some exhibition play
7.
of what they call Judd Trump specials. And we're going to see some more exhibition player by Fakhri. And he draws the cue ball back with check. Just letting off some steam in the semi-final.
12.
Knowing that he has the frame in the bag. This time misses the middle pocket. 3 times he's been unfortunate in this match. And I think Fakhri has definitely found his form. Loosening the black. On a 17 break. And you can see how easy Fakhri makes this to look. Certainly making sure of the frame.
21 frame.
And 4 frames in the hat for the semi-final, and Fakhri extends his lead 3 frames to 1, 1 frame away from his spot in this year's final of the 2022 How Cup. Kiashan requiring 3 frames on the trot to win this match, but it's going to take some bottle in order for him to muster up the tenacity to be able to get into this match. Fakhri looking very confident, looking very composed, very comfortable with his 3-1 lead, so we can expect Fakhri to possibly put on a high break in this next frame. Stefan Sennekamp setting up the balls. And a good shout out to our sponsors, How Tips and How Cues, Andy Cloth, Purple Rain, My Day Brands, for making this tournament possible. Pro Snooker, the 8th event since its inception. First time being hosted here in Centurion, at the Centurion Mall. Frame 5, and Kjashin Moodley to break. Clips of red, does hit that fairly hard, but fortunately getting a nudge on the yellow. Attempts a long shot, and you can just see by that cue power and the performance of this Andy Cloth that was able to draw the cue ball back into bulk again. Andy Cloth making play effortless for the players in this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing Snooker Showcase at its best here, and may actually see a high break here by Fakhri, because Kjashin has just left the ball in front of the pocket. He did not want to do that, giving Fakhri more table time. Oh, unfortunate position there. Fakhri's going to have to lean over the reds here. He's going to try and get the cue ball back to top table, which he has. Wants to miss the green here, just get behind it, and he does. Not an easy shot here for Kjashin to try and get the cue ball back. The reds are open, and Kjashin waiting to pounce. But unfortunately, Kjashin does miss the red there, and Fakhri got the red to the bottom right corner here. The key here to try and get the cue ball out, and wow, amazing cue power there. He does have the green or the brown. Does he see enough? It does look like he does see enough of the brown. And as mentioned, we might see a high break in this frame from Fakhri, and this just might be that moment. The reds laying really favorable here for Fakhri, and he's got an opportunity here to win this frame in this visit. Unfortunate kiss over here. He did not want to go into the pack like that. So the end of break. Might just nudge into the pack here. A gentle shot. So Fakhri really having an uphill battle here. I mean, Kjashin having an uphill battle here against Fakhri. They're trying to have an opportunity. Just not finding his feet in the semi-final, just not having the opportunity, and that a credit to Fakhri being able to play the safety and the strategic shots that he's been playing, really making it tight, keeping Kjashin on a very short leash. He is looking at the plants here, and definitely worth going for. He'll be digging into the cue ball and setting the cue ball top table. Misses the plant, but does get safety for the cue ball to top table. Kjashin just needs a really good safety, but things just not rolling for him. In fact, he's just gone past the... He might be able to see this red. Does he see it? No, nice tap on the table there by Fakhri, acknowledging the safety there by Kjashin, and leaving the red in front of the pocket of Fakhri. maybe thinking of playing one of the reds onto that red, either dropping it or disturbing it. But very difficult situation to be in. You have to try and keep the cue ball safe. And he's nudged the reds open. Does he have a shot on? Looking for his window of opportunity. Very important frame here for Kiashan. He needs to get into this frame. Plays a beautiful plant. Might he get the nudge on the jaw? And he does. If there's ever an opportunity for Kiashan, it is now. This is an opportunity to put on a high break and a good opportunity to get some table time. He does go into the balls.
6.
Black not laying in a bad position, but also not easy. It's not worth playing for, as once the black gets on the spots, it's pretty much tied up. So he will be looking at going for the top colors over here, trying to get the cue ball in and out of bulk, but goes into the brown, misses the blue. Would not be happy with that. Fakhri getting a long shot here. He might be able to see this red, but it all depends on how he's going to hold the cue ball. He pulls it back. Where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going? Just unfortunate with the in-offs that Fakhri's been getting, but nonetheless still being able to have the advantage in this match. Kiashan knows that he has to make best of his opportunity. One opportunity given to Fakhri will have him get into the reds, put him on a high score and securing his spot in the final. So Kiashan trying to really get good safety and creating an opportunity for himself, hoping that Fakhri would leave him on a red to try and get into this frame. And a high break in this frame is exactly what Kiashan is needing. A containing shot here by Fakhri. I'm not sure if this red does pass the black. We'll see now. Doesn't look like it does pass the black. So another containing shot coming up. Playing with a bit of left-hand check side. Each player hoping that the other would make a mistake and leave them on a red. Sitting the cue ball top table, would he get a nice position behind the brown? He does. I wonder if Kiashan sees this red, the second red below the blue. If he can see this, it would be a good opportunity to try and get it. It looks like he might be going for it. This is not an easy shot. He's attempting it, and had he dropped that, he would have had a shot on the black to get the black on the spot and then open on all the reds. But it does look like this red might go to the right middle, but I don't think he'll be taking it on because there are so many reds up in case he does miss. So he will be setting the cue ball top table again. He does get the nudge on the second red, but he makes the red. Long pink. Here's a test of cue action here. Plays it confidently. And this is just what we've been seeing here from Fakhri. This is the Fakhri of confidence that we all know. This is the reason why he's here. He has his eye on a trophy. He wants to secure his spot in this finals. Unfortunately missed it by him, but not leaving anything obvious on. Kiashan trying to create an opportunity here for himself. He wants to make sure he can take this on, but if he does and he misses, he'll be handing the reds over on a platter. So a containing shot here to draw the white ball back. And there's an opportunity here for Fakhri to possibly play the red off the other red, cannon, into the side. Oh, he sees enough of the red to actually pot it. What color will he land on over here? I think he might want to loosen up the blue and play the cue ball safe, or just try and get the cue ball behind the bulk colors. An option here is just to nudge the green on the right, loosening them. It does seem like he does see the brown. So what a well worked out shot. What a beautiful safety. And this just might be the payoff shot that Fakhri has been waiting for. Kiashan playing a semi-swerve. It all depends on what's going to happen here. Leave the shot open. And this is what safety play does, ladies and gentlemen. It creates the opportunity to get into the frame. And Fakhri pouncing on like a tiger, waiting for his opportunity, which has just been given. Reds all in the open. And we might see a big break here. With the way Fakhri's been playing, I would not be surprised if he clears us up, with the exception of the blue being tight on the left cushion, but he's cueing very well. He wanted a nudge into the red, and he sees enough of the pink, but he's going to need to play a nice good recovery shot here, play the red closest to the pink spot, to the bottom right pocket, which he has. Ooh, uncanny miss there. Didn't expect the Fakhri to miss a shot like that, but Kiashan will look at this as his opportunity and his break to be able to get another frame on the board. Maintains a lovely shot there to get the black back onto its spot. Get position on the next radio, not easy. Because he's quite straight on the black. He does punch the black. But was it enough though? He might see the radio just to the right of the table. And then if he can get nice position on the black over here, he's definitely got opportunity to put on some score onto this frame, and he does. He's going to have to take some cue ball negotiating to get the reds on the left-hand side of the table into play. He would start with the bottom of the three. So this shot now being crucial to get the angle on the black for the next red. He does not want to end up straight on the shot. He's left himself a little bit of an angle. So he's going to want to punch this to try and get out between the bottom red and the pink. And he does reach it. So he gets the bottom red now. Want to make sure he gets in a good position on a color here. And the cue ball. It's got a long shot here on the black. He's brought the scores close in proximity from each other. Takes the black down, takes the lead in this frame. But here's a key shot. This is the key shot for Kiashan. Plays it well, it slightly overruns this. He's going to have to either take the pink or run the cue ball around the table if he takes the black. He's going to take it maybe going to the blue. Sets up the black in the pocket and will be happy with at least getting some points onto the board for this frame. Fakhri thinking of how he can play a shot and leave Kiashan safe. Fakhri just needing this frame to secure his spots in the finals. nudges the green out a bit, and he'll be very happy that a tap on the table by Kiashin. He's probably going to want to, if he doesn't see this, to hit the red from behind. He does. But I think this red's going to be open, and with the way Fakhri's been playing, I would not be surprised if he would take this on. Does look confident to take this on. And where's the cue ball going? He's heading for the black. It's heading for the black. He nudges it and doesn't drop it, and he'd be very happy with that. He wants to now ensure that he gets a nice fine cuts on this black to go up for the yellow. Always going to run it around. Let's see. Just nice and fine and just send it straight up, and he does. He wanted a little bit finer, but he's got a bit of an angle here now. He's going to stretch out for this yellow. He might opt to take the little extension on his cue. Will he reach out for it? He does. He might want to run into the green here, and he does, but misses the yellow. 27 points on the table. This is going to be, one can feel the atmosphere in this frame. Long shot, Jeffrey Kiashin. Oh, he rattles it. He could not be closer. Unfortunate miss over there, but Kiashin wants to make sure that he seals this frame. This will at least draw the gap to 3 frames to 2. Setting the cue ball up. Will he get a cue ball behind the brown? The pace looks good. The line looks good. What a great shot. What a great shot. Coming out of the snookers is not easy. Slices the yellow, sends a cue ball back top table. Well played. Well played. Sends the yellow around the houses, extending the distance between the white and the yellow. Kiashin probably playing this yellow into the black. He's just playing his top table. He wants to make sure he doesn't leave this on, and it is going to have a bit of a bounce. Not an easy shot yet, but he might take this on. I think he might just pull it into the brown. Ends up, will he get a nudge on the pink here? He does. Kiashin the strength, the long shots. But at this stage, just trying to secure his lead in this frame. Plays a beautiful yellow behind. Fakhri will be playing this with a bit of left-hand side and getting the, oh, he misses the yellow, hits the black and gives 7 points away. And he'll probably be getting a free ball here as well. Referee Stefan Sinakam checking it out. I think he calls the free ball. After a foul, a player must be able to cut the finest cut on either side. It was a miss. The miss is called. Cue ball will be replaced. Black would be replaced. And the player would be required to play the same shot again. 7 points awarded to Fakhri. Stefan Stennekamp, the match official, doing a great job in placing the balls back to the original position. And what Fakhri tried to do here was to play a lot of left-hand English on the cue ball, and possibly just come half ball or even quarter ball off of the yellow, sending the cue ball back top table. Just an update on our other semi-finals. Ricketts going against Ashraf. In table 2, we have the scores tied at 2 frames each. Tight match over there, race to 4. Fakhri with his second attempt after his miss on the yellow. plays a lot of side, and he plays the same shot again. Just not enough. The squirt on the cue ball, when I say the squirt, it's the deflection of the cue ball, and guess what? He's faced another free ball here, but I'm sure Cashin would be calling the miss again, and he does. So he will be placing the cue ball back to where it was. Black ball back to where it was. That's 14 points given away to Cashin, and Cashin taking opportunity of this foul and a miss. Interesting fact that should the yellow have been open and Fakhri would have had 2 misses, if the yellow was open, the referee would at this stage give Fakhri a warning that if he misses a 3rd time it would be loss of frame. But because it's a snooker, there will be as much foul and a misses given as much as he is not requiring any snookers. So just position the cue ball back to where it was. The problem here is the deflection. He will be aiming pretty much straight at the black, and that looks good. He has hit it. He would have preferred to hit the yellow more finer and more thinner in order to send the cue ball back, but he's hit it quite thick and quite full. Setting up a shot here for the yellow, which he hasn't made, but fortunately he's sent the cue ball top table. Good opportunity to try and get the cue ball behind the green and the black. He would play this with a bit of side, and he sends the cue ball up, but just not enough pace. He drops his head in disappointment, knowing he hit that just a little bit too thick. And here's an opportunity for Cashin to bring this home. He's got a bit of an angle here on the green. He's thinking of possibly setting the cue ball around the table. So he wants a power shot here. And we do. Runs a 3-4. Where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going? He will come close, but at least he is on the brown. But this is not an easy shot. But he might take this on, because hitting the jaws, he probably would send the brown top table if he does miss. He takes it on and comfortably pots it. Speaking to Cashin before the match, he said he loves the cushion shots because they go down so easy, and that's accredited to the Andy cloth. 18 points left on the table, leaving Fakhri requiring snookers. So Cashin fighting back, clawing his way back to try and shorten the difference. He might hit the jaw here, and he does. So Fakhri really trying to get a good safety shot here behind the black somehow. And he's played this a little bit hard. I think Cashin might have a shot here. If Cashin makes the blue, that would secure his frame. And decreasing and a beautiful blue there, and he'd be happy with that. A load will be lifted off his shoulders. Fakhri conceding the frame, shortening the lead that Fakhri has on him. The score 3 frames to 2 in favor of Fakhri. Fakhri 1 frame away from securing a spot in the finals this year. Cashin relieved that he was able to snatch this frame. And is this the opportunity? Is this the gap that Cashin's been waiting for? Would this be able to give him enough confidence to see the Cashin that we're all so familiar with? Will we see a deciding frame if Cashin takes this next frame? And just for our viewers to know that there is a time limit on the semi-finals, 15 minutes left in this match. And when the time runs up, whoever is leading in frames will win the match. So at this moment, Fakhri is in favor of winning and securing his spot in the finals. So in 15 minutes, Kiashin's going to want to try and get a big break here and speed up play. Fakhri, on the other hand, is going to want to slow down play and to secure his spot in the finals. Tries the long red. Still able to get the safety. Unclip this red, play the cue ball between the blue and the pink. He hits a little bit full. Opens up the reds. And this is something that we've seen over the years. When a player has gotten to the point where he's up against the wall, they kind of like relax a bit and they're able to just let go a bit. And you see players being able to really bring out a good performance, and it seems like Kiashin might just be there right now, where they don't care if they win or lose, but they're really just playing the shot that's on at the time. And it does look like Kiashin is a bit more relaxed. Unfortunate miss over there. Fakhri will jump at the opportunity to try and get as much score on the board as possible. They're trying to delay the frame because of the 50 minutes that needs to lapse in order for him to have won this frame. Unfortunately, he's there on the yellow, but he's going to just nudge it up against the yellow and snooker him. This would be able to slow down play and close the gap. So you're going to get this red just left of the black, and a well played shot over there. He does have a red on to the right middle, but does the black pass the red? I don't think it does. He's going to try and slice this very fine and send the cue ball up around the table. He gets the pot. Next on the long blue. What a great shot there by Fakhri. Loosening up the reds, getting nice position on the black. And with the amount of time that is left on the clock, this does seem to be favorable for Fakhri in securing his spot in the finals this year. Once again, Fakhri not being a stranger of being in the finals, having been in the finals several times, having unfortunately lost to Charles Yonk, who was yesterday knocked out by Kevin. So Fakhri definitely seeing this as an opportunity. Nice nudge and open there on the reds, but getting a red and maintaining a color here is not going to be easy. I think he might want to take this red closer to the pink spot to the right middle, and maybe just rolling the cue ball softly forward, or cutting the one on the left really fine and sending the white ball back up table again. He does cut it, he does make it, and gets lovely on the brown. Sitting on a 21 break. I know Fakhri's got one thing on his mind, and that's to maintain and dominate his visits in this frame, to ensure that he gets the most amount of points possible, securing his spot in the final. can see Fakhri really having a nice feel for the table. He's getting his pace right, and his confidence has been built up to be able to take on the shots that one would not normally go for. Gets a nice nudge on the red. Would he be able to maintain this for the pink, or is he going to have to pull this back for the blue? And he wants to get on the right hand side of the blue. He plays it so well. And one can just see that Fakhri is just at the moment fueled with confidence. Gets a lovely nudge on the black.
57.
And you can see Fakhri being very comfortable. And this might be the opportunity that Fakhri's been waiting for. His confidence will be soaring high. His adrenaline will be pumping right now, knowing that the finish line is in with view.
45. 6.
45 break, 5 reds remaining. Yashin sat in his chair, knowing that there's nothing he can do while Fakhri is busy. Draws the white back between the reds, and seeing some beautiful play here by Fakhri. He's more relaxed, he's quick around the table, and in his mind he's already secured this frame. He knows that he's playing as a champion. Plays the cue ball with beautiful pace. He's going to take this to the left pocket. He's going to dig straight into the cue ball, try and go into the cushion. Oh, he gets the pot. Goes back top table. Some great play we're seeing here. 62 break here by Fakhri. Some tight reds here. If he's able to get a couple more reds over here, not only is he going to just win the frame, but he might want to get the highest break of the tournament in mind here. He's going to have to play this with some power, and he does. He's got a long ready on the cushion. He has a tester with some cue action over here. He's going to have to stretch for this, using the rest. If he gets this red, he'll have his eye on the prize. But if he misses this, we're probably going to see Kiashin conceding. Misses it. 51 left on the table. And I don't think Kiashin is going to have an easy feat here to try and claw back. With 51 points on the table, that means the last 3 reds he's going to have to pot with blacks. That'll put him on 55. Lovely 66 break there by Fakhri. And he's really brought his game to the semi-finals. Very clever shot by Fakhri. Going for the pot, yet drawing the cue ball back into bulk and leaving it safe. Kiashin holding on by the skin of his teeth to try and have some sort of hope. And Fakhri not letting up. Bringing the reds closer to the black. I think this red is open. Kiashin is checking it out. He will try one last hope to make this red and maintain position on the black. He nudges the one red. And if this... Not easy shot here. Would he take on the plant? He is looking at it. He is looking at this. He might as well go for it since Kiashin is requiring snookers. Takes the plant on. Kiashin thinking very carefully. He needs high colored points if he takes this. Ideally, he would want to leave the last red by the black to to snooker Fakhri and get a free ball possibly to get more points on. So he's going to want to take the pink or the blue here. He needs a high color. He gets the blue. And this is where the frame starts drawing to a close.
6.
The less reds on the table, the less opportunity the players have and options they have to play safe. Nice containing shot there by Kiashan. Fakhri seeing where he can leave the cue ball. He's going to want to play this with a lot of side and sending the cue ball top table probably. And he does. Did not dig into it enough. Will he be able to get past the brown? Does he have enough pace? And he's very fortunate there, ending behind the green. And not looking promising here for Kiashan, as we have a red that's close to the center. And you might see the side of this. And he does see the side of it, but would he leave it safe? Here's a shot here opportunity for Fakhri, and he is bridging over the black, not an easy shot. He takes it on, and that will secure the frame for Fakhri. He's got the black to the side, and Fakhri knows that this is concluded.
8.
One can see how Kiashan has sat down in his seat. He reaches out, shakes up his hand, and concedes the frame. And Fakhri secures his spot in the finals of this year's 2022 How Cup. Final score, 4 frames to 2 to Fakhri. Well played. So you guys want to tune in by 2:30 when we have our finals. It's going to be a formidable finals. Just an update on our other match. We have Ricky Tagoning and Ashraf at 2 frames apiece. Ricky Tagoning leading 61 points to 31. It's only 27 points left on the table. And Ashraf requiring snookers. This is going to be a performance of note. Fakhri extremely happy.